later. This came about because of a conversation we had earlier this week. Actually, it was Wednesday during Municipal Matters, and we were talking about Halifax Council taking the bait and passing a rat recommendation for the city. This has to do with all the development, all those cranes you see dotting our skyline. And it's not so much the construction, but the demolition that has sent the little furry rodents scurrying into the street. And do we have a rat problem? Well, I guess we have a bit of a problem in that some within the pest control industry say they really didn't have a chance to offer up some other kind of options. And here on the line to talk a little bit with us this afternoon about this is Andrew Wheelock. Andrew Wheelock is with the company called Skedaddle Humane Wildlife. And welcome to our program, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing great, Sheldon. How about you?
Not bad. How long have you been in the rat business?
I've been dealing with them for 6 years.
Okay.
It's obviously in the news and a problem around town. I'm dealing with them just about every day.
So what is, I'm just trying in my brain envision what it sounds like taking that call from someone in between, somewhere in between, eek, get rid of this, or help, I need somebody to deal with these.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you have an active rodent problem, rat, inside a building, there's health concerns, there's safety concerns. Certainly they can chew on wires, things like that. And, there's a fear factor as well. People are, generally quite timid of rodents.
My daughter had pet rats growing up. These are not the same, are they?
No, not at all. No, these are typically we have Norwegian rats in this city, and they're opportunistic to try to get into buildings that have vulnerabilities and to seek food, shelter, water, and they can cause a problem.
Here with us this afternoon is Andrew Wheelock with Skedaddle Humane Wildlife. I assume by the name of the company that you guys aren't trapping and disposing, or are you?
Yeah, correct. We so with our Skedaddle brand, we are experts at doing exclusion on buildings. So we will look at a home, commercial building, and find out what the vulnerabilities are. Seal those up, and in fact, let the rats out of the building.
Well, you do that though; they're coming into my house.
Well, that means your house should be secure.
Okay,
that's what I say to that.
Well, and people, there's that emotional, as you say, people are kind of creeped out by the thoughts of something scurrying around in their home, and I don't know if many people realize. We had a mouse in our house just a couple of weeks ago, and it's a loud thing. I can only imagine how much louder a rat is.
Yes, absolutely. I was in a building today where I heard them in the ceiling, and they scurry quickly. They sound much louder than a mouse. It's not just the light scratching, and a lot of time you hear them gnawing on things like wood and wires.
So what is your thought? What is your opinion of the city's plan to remediate and to have building owners, trapping before they start demolishing?
Well, I think that's certainly one step, an important step, and a good step towards helping the problem with new construction. I believe that maybe it should happen a little earlier than just 2 weeks before, because it takes with animal behaviors, rats are a very smart species and they're nervous of things, so it takes a while for them to get used to trap and bait stations around a building. And then I think common sense, getting rid of areas where rats could hide, being smart in your disposal of garbage and things like that, and general tidiness and orderliness around buildings is important.
Tidiness and that, I get it, but it's about the food, isn't it?
Well, not only about the food. Like, the rodents will want places to hide, they'll want things to eat, and they'll want water to drink. So all those factors go into, taking away those factors will definitely reduce a rat population around an area.
Here with us this afternoon, we're talking with Andrew Wheelock. He's with a company called Skedaddle Humane Wildlife. You're getting more calls. This isn't just anecdotal. This is true. You guys are hearing from more people who are having issues with rats?
Absolutely. There's just, there's no doubt about it. I can't quantify the how much we've increased, but it's certainly we're busier and busier and have more people doing that work.
Calls every day?
Every day.
Every day. With this in mind, and someone raised an issue a couple of weeks ago because council also discussed feral cats and how there are so many wild cats roaming around, and it was suggested to me, well, how come the rats aren't being, preyed on by these feral cats?
Well, I'm sure they are, Sheldon, frankly, but there's, the rats are all around us, and they're hiding in places, and they're in places where cats can't find them too.
Is there a problem with mice as well, or has this mainly been rats that you guys are dealing with?
Yeah. Oh no, mice is probably the most common problem we deal with. There's they can get in smaller holes in people's buildings, and they're very very pesty as well.
Again, we're talking about the rat crisis and some criticism, and the boss of your company called or sent me an email and was a little bit worried that the city hasn't asked for expert opinion on this. So if you were asked by the city on this rat issue, what would your recommendation be?
Well, again, I'd want to sit down and specifically look at sites of concern. What can we do to reduce harborage or shelter for rats, food and water sources, look to secure buildings, and take a multifaceted approach, not just trapping and baiting, to keeping rat populations out of living working situations.
Well, I guess it's an opportunity to educate, and as you say, it's not just about the food, but it is. I don't know if this guy has a comment or question, but Wayne, what's on your mind today?
You had your buddy on there talking about rats. I got another issue about mice.
Yeah.
And I just want to let the public know that anybody who got cars, like your fancy cars stored in your garage for the winter, go lift the cover off the cars and check your cars out, because the darn mice, they come in. I've had about 4 Sobeys bags of stuff under my engine hood and 8 potatoes and stuff like that. But anybody who's got a collector car, take the cover off and go check it out. And you have a great day. I don't want to keep you.
No worries, Wayne. What's your collector card? You got one?
Ours is a 05 Mustang convertible. We love it. But,
nice car. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Andrew, to his point, mice kind of find their way. I had squirrels eat a hole in a soft top I had for a Jeep I owned once. I mean, it can be a real issue, too. Do you get calls like that often?
Absolutely. I've seen rats chew through luxury automobile seats. Talking to a gentleman a day or two ago who had, I think, $18,000 worth of electronic damage to his vehicle, squirrel related, not rat, but squirrel on that one.
That's scary. Are you dealing with any rats in Shannon Park? Getting any calls?
We haven't had a call in Shannon Park, but I'm sure they're there.
Right. Andrew, thank you for this. Appreciate it. And perhaps we'll get you back when, obviously, there's some interest in this story for our listeners here this afternoon.
Much appreciated, Sheldon. Have a great day.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Good luck with the rats. Andrew is with a company called Skedaddle, Humane Wildlife technician. Carl got in touch with us this after our conversation. Felt that Zane, no, it wasn't Zane. It was this week we had Tim Bousquet in our studio along with that chap from the coast. You know who I'm talking about. We were talking about the rats, and they felt perhaps we were making fun. But no, serious issue. Serious issue, for sure. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up in just a few seconds.